So if someone has just been in working in CAD-Link, they will have assigned work to a particular ECO group. So I'm currently in the ECO group with my initials, and I've clicked refresh, and that gives me a list of work. If another engineer had done more work and allocated it to this group, you have to click refresh to get this loaded up fully again. Uh, so anyway, I normally target individual parts before I do assemblies per se, right? So I'm gonna pick this EB part number, and on my second screen, I'm gonna open up the drawing. I don't need to bring that in, you just know what a drawing looks like. So in here, one thing CAD Link can't do is to put a tick in for final op. This final op button is sort of buried a bit. So to get it on your screen, just give me a shout, right? But it's basically under personalized screens here, and we add it and then we drag it across and put it there. And once you've saved that, you never have to do it again. So if it's not there, come and see me. So we've got final operation, and then under materials, on the engineering side of CAD-Link, we put in that it was 6mm S275. And now we're going to pick the attributes. The old way that I had shown Ryan was in here, but this new button is much handier. So we'll click that and new material. So this is stock size. So we're going to amortize our sheets to be 3 by 1.5. Of course, if the part is bigger than 3 by 1.5, you must pick the bigger sheet. This part, however, is 71 by 30mm. Click OK. It'll warn us to say, are you sure? And then hit submit. And it then loads that attribute back in. So you'll see now that we've got an attribute set, we've got number of pieces, which was always a glitch with the old way. You could forget to do that. And that part is now ready. So we're going to go approve and check in. So I'm going to do these all because the more times you see this, the better, in my opinion. So we've got KA. This part is 12mm steel. So you just do final up, materials, pick the materials, size. Again, it will fit in this part. So it's 209 by 150. It doesn't matter, but I typically put in big size, small size. That just means that we don't have duplication of attribute records. So again, on my separate screen here, I'm just opening drawings. So this part here is operation. And as I'm doing this, I'm looking at the drawing and I can see that there's folds in it. So I was saying that sometimes on the CAD link side, it shows the parts as not folded. So it's good to double check these as we're going through. And again, materials, attributes, it will fit in the 3 by 1.5, and she is 150 by 71. Now, if you wish, you can leave this open. You don't have to, it's up to you. You can approve and check it in, or you can just leave it there. But I find approve and checking it in to be cleaner. You sort of know where you're at. This one is an assembly. That's the opposite of that assembly. That's an assembly. So again, I don't think it matters, but I normally target the part numbers first. So this is the wear age. Uh, this is not an dynamically attribute tracked part. So you'll see that this wear age, there is no attributes because obviously because we're trimming this wear age down to make that part, the remnant of that is useless. So it's 1. So that part there, weirdly enough, doesn't have a dynamic attribute, but it will have to have a final operation. Now I've put that in a saw. I've since been told that that's done by the welders. So I'm changing that to welders and I'm going to give them 2 minutes to cut that. And I'll do 2 more and then to keep the video short. So this one's EB. Now, that's interesting. So this drawing says discontinued. So how, right, I don't know what to do with that. That's a different issue. So I'll do a different one for now. There will be gremlins as we go through this process, folks. It's inevitable. So this part here, operations. Now, I'm looking at the drawing here, and it has got in cut out, and it's made out of flat. So I would put a queer bit of money on that. That's not made that way. I would say that part's actually laser cut. So again, this is the scenario that we're in, that there's going to be some parts that the spec says 80 by 10 flat, but in reality it's not. So how can we check this? So if I go to my Excel, or sorry, well, I'll cover this later. I have a way of checking what's in NC applications, right? So I don't believe that part is made out of flat. I just don't believe it. So I'm going to skip that one. I'll come back to it later. So I'm going to end the video there because I've run into 2 queries on existing manufactured parts just through drawing confusion or whatever. So I'll cut the video with that. Thank you.